The murder of Madeleine M. This happened to my aunt back in the early 90s. It's something that shook our entire family, and even after all these years, it still sends chills down my spine when I think about it. My aunt Madeleine was a nurse at a local hospital in Zurich. She was kind, caring, and always willing to help those in need, but that kindness would cost her dearly. It all started when she met a man named Thomas. He came into the hospital one night after a car accident. He wasn't badly hurt, but my aunt took care of him anyway. They got to talking during his recovery, and over time Thomas seemed to charm her. He started coming by the hospital just to see her, even when he didn't have any reason to be there. At first she thought it was sweet. He'd bring flowers, leave notes on her car, but soon it became obsessive. Thomas started showing up at her house unannounced. He'd call her several times a day, and when she didn't answer, he would get angry, furious even. My aunt told him she didn't feel comfortable with how intense things were getting. She tried to end it, but Thomas didn't take rejection well. It got worse after that. One night, she came home to find her house broken into. Nothing was stolen, but things were moved. Her personal belongings were touched. Her underwear drawer had been rifled through. She was terrified and called the police, but with no clear evidence, they couldn't do much. She knew it was him. She told our family, but she didn't want to move, didn't want to let him scare her away from her life. But we all felt something bad was coming. On the night of her murder, Madeleine had just finished a late shift. She never made it home. Her body was found the next morning in her car, parked on a secluded street. She had been strangled, her face bruised and battered. It was horrific. The investigation pointed straight to Thomas, but he denied everything, claiming they were still seeing each other, that she wanted to meet him that night. There were no witnesses, and Thomas had an alibi. His roommate claimed he was home all night, but the police found something chilling. Hidden in his apartment was a diary, pages filled with detailed accounts of his obsession with Madeleine. He had written about stalking her, following her every move. The last entry was dated the night she was murdered, describing how he finally made her his. Thomas was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, but to this day I still feel uneasy. We never understood how someone could be so twisted, so broken. And sometimes late at night I think about how close my aunt came to living a normal life, how all of this could have been avoided if she'd never met him. It scares me to think that people like Thomas walk among us, hiding behind kind smiles and charming words. And it makes me wonder, how well do we really know the people we let into our lives? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another eerie story from HollowNightFear. Your support helps keep these real-life horrors coming. Stay tuned for more chilling content.